Another important topic in order to master our visual synthesizer is the topic of transitions. Here we provide a lot of options to go from one scenery to another scenery, either with predefined images or just with changing prompts. Sometimes we do get the feedback that people struggle to go from one scene to another, and today I want to explain you where the struggle comes from and provide some remedies for that. So in this project we have a first prompt that describes a bioluminescent fungi. Looks more like a tree to me, but okay, it's a fungi, cool. And then we have a second clip here with a stately oak tree. And in between these two clips, we have something that we call transition. In the transition, we will gradually change all the parameters here from this clip to the second clip. Imagine we had a zoom of 0 in the first clip and a strong zoom in on the second clip. We would start with a zoom of 0 at the beginning of the transition and end with a strong zoom in on the second transition. So these transitions are very powerful actually to achieve smooth motion changes. And that's just interesting for you to know. And also what we do is we move from one prompt to the other in these transitions. The professional term for this would be interpolation. So we interpolate from one prompt to the other, meaning we slowly change the meaning for the AI from this bioluminescent fungi to the oak tree. We can see what this does by just playing. First we have this bioluminescent stuff and slowly we become this oak tree here. So I think it's, you can nicely see that somehow the images change slowly over time and then really become this green normal nature here. Very nice. We have another example here. In this case, first we prompt for a 1960 Volkswagen Beetle and then we prompt for a 1960s Ford, which are obviously very different shapes. And in this case, and this is feedback that we get sometimes, the change doesn't really work that well. Let me play this. First we have a nice stable Volkswagen and then suddenly, I mean, the images become a bit unstable. If you see this, first it's very stable, not much changes. Now more changes, and it slowly becomes a different car, but it takes a bit of time. And the reason for this is we have an edge echo of a bit higher value than in my previous example, here at 0.65. And what this does is it keeps the edges of the image the same. So it tries to preserve the shapes of the image. Yeah, but if we tell the AI preserve the shape, it will be very hard to move from a Volkswagen Beetle to a Ford, even though both are cars, but the shapes are very different. And so the AI is struggling here. I really need to make a Ford out of this, but I should preserve the shapes. And it takes a bit of time. Eventually it kind of succeeds, but it takes a bit of time. Okay, so edge echo to make transitions from really one object to a completely different one can be a little bit tricky. There is a trick that one can play. This is a bit of an advanced trick, but bear with me. Same example, same prompts, same settings, but here we add negative modulation to edge echo with a pulse modulation, meaning we are decreasing the edge echo to a lower value just for a bit of time. Just at the beginning of the second clip, we decrease the edge echo, meaning we tell the AI, forget the shapes that we had, don't preserve the shape, just for a bit of time. This will lead to a more fluctuating image, but only for a short period of time, and then we have the edge echo back, and the edge echo will keep things stable again. So let us play this example. First we have a nice stable car, then we have a rapid transition to the new car, and then the car is stable again. I think this is a powerful trick, right? You see a lot of changes in this period here, lots of changes, but then very stable again. So yeah, this is a powerful trick if you want to move from one prompt to the other, and the prompts are very different. Now in the previous examples, we just had a second prompt where we moved towards. But what you can also do in NeuroFrames is upload images or create images that you want to move towards. And this is this button here, where we can we can select a frame from the ones that we've already created. We can upload an image from our hard drive. Note that please keep the aspect ratio of the uploaded image the same. So in this case, we would need to upload a 1:1 image. Or we can generate an image. Just for simplicity now, I want to generate one. I do think probably the most usual use case for this is uploading an image that you already have. In this case, I want to generate an image. Now I could say a prehistoric army. I have a style image here, so I don't need to prompt so extensively. Okay, I have a prehistoric army. I don't know why it's dinosaurs. Let's actually say, I mean, maybe dragons. Maybe dragons would be nice. I like that, that's cool. Now we select one. The image appears here and you have two options. You can cut or you can blend. Cut, basically we introduce a hard cut. So let's remove the transition, kind of. Let's just render. Now if we play this back, you will see that there's a hard cut to this new image, right? And you can of course tell stories now along the way, create a new clip, go back to this original image, move back to the dragon and stuff like this. You can really tell stories with this. Or you select blend. Blend does something interesting. This was for a long time our most requested feature, and then we finally added it. That we will actually slowly add this image during this transition box a little bit more, and so we blend towards this image. This is a bit of a funky feature, but many people like it. It will kind of creatively blend to this new image. Let's see this. See that it becomes this dragon, but it takes a bit of time. And it's also something like a cut, but not as sharp as the other one. So these are the options in Neuroframes to create transitions. I hope this was helpful to you. We really have a lot of knobs and parameters to play with. I hope this helped a little bit to master these. Especially transitions, of course, are important in order to tell the story exactly the way you want. And let us know what you think about it. Thanks a lot and happy rendering.